what's going on? I got another equipment upgrade. So I'm back in my son's room. If you've been following along, this is for the WaterBox 35.2 all-in-one. If you've been watching my videos then and following along, you know kind of where this is going. I originally set up the tank and just ordered the WaterBox with the light that they sold with it as a package, which is the Aqua Illumination HD16. The intentions for this tank, just being in my son's room, and he's 5, he's going to be 6 in April. The intentions were, for the most part, just to have fish and live rock in it. Initially, I wasn't going to do anything else. I was going to keep it as simplistic as possible. But then he came to me as I was watching other videos and talking about corals and showing pictures to my wife. And he kind of became interested, and he said, "Daddy, I want those too in my tank." And being the pushover that I am, I decided that I would start doing some corals in his tank for him. So basically that led into ordering more rock and redoing the scape so it's more coral friendly. In other words, I have more surfaces that light is hitting. But then I kind of started looking at it, and let me just pan over to it or roll over him on this little desk chair. I was kind of looking at the beams and how the light hits and all, and I don't know if just this one 16 HD is going to support corals well enough, like not necessarily just coverage wise, but just getting light around them enough to keep from experiencing die off and things like that. The other reason for this is, I'm a sucker for anything technology related when it comes to aquariums and all. You've heard me say before in previous aquariums, I've run Kessel. Let's just say that I started out in the 90s with T5s, power compacts, went that route for years and years and years. I never did do metal halides because I never did do any kind of complicated corals. Back in the day, it was inverts and anemones and leathers and things like that. Never any SPS or LPS. So I never had the need for it. But several years back, right before my son was born, so 5 years ago, I tore down the last, I guess it was really 90 gallon, I say 100 gallon tank, and I had Kessels on it, and I started doing, getting into some LPS corals, and really enjoyed it and liked it, and I really loved the Kessels. I had the A360Ws, never had an issue with them, loved them. So for the new 100 gallon tank, I did the newer, the X series of the Kessels. I'm kind of a creature of habit. If I find something I like that works, then I usually just try to stick with it. So in deciding to go with more corals on this one, I almost decided to order the what's the Kessel, the AP9X or whatever it is, that has the 2 different pucks in it. I was looking at that and almost decided to go with it because it would give me enough light spread to cover everything in the tank. But then I kept watching things and videos and all, and these, I haven't been huge into Ecotech in the past. Well, I say that, and I've never used any of their stuff really. It was always kind of more expensive every time I had looked at it, and I had heard at times that customer service and support just wasn't great. So I've always steered away from it. And I know in most all the YouTube videos that you see now and all these coral farms and places that sell corals, everybody uses Radions. I don't know if, you know, it's just that they get them free or if they get a huge discount on them or what. I mean, I'm sure like Ecotech sponsors all that stuff, so I know that's why it's probably a favorite. Not necessarily, in my opinion, I don't really think they're any better, but like I said, I've never used them before. So, having said that, I kind of just wanted to give it a try and see, you know, how they are, how they work, how it holds up, what all it does, functionality, all that type stuff. I did it part for myself to kind of see how things go, and then I did it part for my YouTube channel here just to, you know, try something new and have something else that I could add to the videos that differs from what I've already got. So, you know, as you've been following along my video, well, you've seen the AI HD16 running. It's done an okay job so far. I don't love the app, but it's okay, it's functional. So we're just gonna try this out and see how it goes. I'm not really gonna do like a video, the unboxing of this stuff. All I've got is the light and the mount. I decided to go, you could get the Blue or the Pro, as everybody knows. I went with the Pro just because from what I read, it has some extra white lights and it can get you closer to the metal halide look, which I'm more a fan of personally than I am the blue. And I mean, I know it's blue is what grows things, and then if you use a lot of blue, it really gets corals to pop and things like that. Well, even the Pro, it looks like you can adjust it to have that. It just doesn't have as many dedicated blue LEDs. It just has some extra ones dedicated to white. And the other color spectrums too. I mean, there's videos in comparison. You can look up the differences and all, but I just kind of decided, and I hope I made the right decision. I just decided to go with the Pro. I just think it'll suit me a little better than the blue. I'm not saying I did the right thing there, but we'll see. So let me get this unboxed, and I'll unbox it and I'll just kind of show you how it looks, what it looks like out of the box, and then I'll mount it on the tank and we'll go from there. Well, I said I wasn't going to do an unboxing. Some people just like to see how these things are packaged. I think other people have done this, but, you know, just adding this into the video. Came with just this foam over the top, and looks like it's secured and packaged pretty well in here. Got the cooling fan over the top. Got like the vent fans here. Feels like the tops may be like an acrylic, and then that's maybe metal. Let me get this thing out of here. Okay, and excuse the mess. I just sat this on my son's bed. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool, just first impressions, it's a cool little light. I mean, I wonder about these things. It's so crazy to me, the cost of all these lights. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. You can spend on lighting for an aquarium. You can spend as much as I did on my first car. So it's just, it's unbelievable to me, but it's just one of those things. It can be a very expensive hobby. I mean, I know there's like cheap ways to do it and all, but I like all the technology and higher end stuff. I mean, you get what you pay for and the features and everything else. So I like to buy the nicer stuff. So anyway, I got a fortune in this tank, in both of them, and I'm afraid going to continue. I guess there'll never be an end to it. That's one of the reasons why I got out of it for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years anyway. But getting back in it, I wish I would have just kept on trucking and not gotten out of it. I think once you start off in this hobby, you always kind of have that desire, even if you fail or whatever your reasons for getting out of it. You know, I think you always kind of have, if you originally had the desire, I think it's kind of always there. So you might as well just ride out the storm, in my opinion. All right, let me get this on the mount and get it set up. Okay, just going through the steps, kind of as I unbox it, just for anybody interested. I know some people they don't care anything about this part. If you don't, just fast forward through the video. But for anybody that does, I just kind of like to show you how things come. And I'll say again, this cheap this is plastic, and that's metal, but it's got plastic on it, and that's metal. But, these few components of this arm, roughly $100. I think it was like 80 or whatever. Some of the stuff's absolutely ridiculous just because it has that name stamped on it. I mean, if this was like a off-brand thing and what they build it for or whatever, you'd probably get it for 30, maybe cheaper. I think $30 to $40 is probably a more reasonable price for it, but it is what it is. All right, so it comes with 2 of these arms that you use based on how far you need the light to extend out. Being an all-in-one tank, I need the longer one, and it is adjustable through that little Allen bolt on the bottom. It can slide back and forth, and then you can also slide the light back and forth on there. It comes with a little Allen wrench to do that, but a lot of, like, if you get a Nest kit or something like that, it'll come with like the little cheap tools to put everything together. But I just thought it was funny that I assumed that these screws were probably going to be Allen screws and fit that, but they're Phillips. So, and it doesn't give you a little tool. I just, that's a stupid little thing, but I just feel like for the amount this thing cost, like it should really have everything with it to put together, even though everybody has screwdrivers. But anyway, just me kind of rambling on about it. Okay, so here we go. You have to, when you assemble it, you take this completely off, and then you have to add this little rubber piece to the back here. Then you put this back in. It does come with this piece installed here, and it says basically in the instructions you use this if you have a rimmed tank. If you have rimless, you remove this piece, so that's not needed. Kind of stinks that this will be sticking out so far. It does have a little, where'd it go? There it is. It has this little rubber cover to go over it. I guess you just cut it to size and then stick that over there, which will somewhat hide it, but it's still sticking out. Then you have the light itself. Use this for your adjustment to slide it back and forth. A little bracket here. It took a little finagling for me to get this on here. So it has little notches both ways that you turn this. So I originally thought that it didn't matter which way you turned it, but when I had it the other way, I couldn't get it to slide easily on this mount. So I had to rotate it, and then I had to slide it without this piece from the back to the front. And then the front, I'm not going to try to slide again. It's got a little stopper that you install and put a screw in, so it can only come out so far. So it took a little bit of actual finagling to get it together. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like complicated or anything. It's just not overly straightforward in my opinion. But there you go. Let me get it on the tank and let's see what it looks like. Okay, this is just initially turning it on without doing any kind of setup or anything. I hadn't even downloaded the app yet. Super bright. So I have no doubt it'll grow whatever you want it to. Just another note, I mean, it doesn't have any kind of wire management that it comes with for the power cable. I mean, I was surprised. I thought it'd have something to, like a track or way to, like, actually secure it. But it is what it is. Just something I wanted to point out. There it is in place. Let me download the app and get it set up. All right, and here's the final deal. I downloaded the Mobius app. It is pretty user friendly. I mean, I don't have much to say for it. The thing is that you click on it, you create an account It automatically picked up the unit. You name the tank, and then it does an update, which took a few minutes. I would recommend, if you get this light, to plug it in before you put it on the tank and let it do the update, because when it was updating, the light came on and off, like cycled a few times. It kind of freaked out the fish. They were bouncing around everywhere. So I would go ahead and really set it up before I put it on the tank. That was my mistake. I put it on first. But anyway, after the update, it had some templates on there. I did the AB Plus, so it kind of automatic template for all the colors you want for corals and things. And then I set my time in there, and that was it. It's pretty user friendly and easy to fool with. You can see in the back of the all-in-one, or the back glass of the tank now. And one other thing I wanted to point out is that this arm, while you can adjust it forwards and backwards, you can't go up and down. So I mean, I know this is probably like their thing saying that, you know, that's the ideal height for it, but the problem is I need to lower it down because I got a lot of light spilling out of the tank. Not only that, I've got a whole lot of light spilling into the back of the tank here, which is going to cause me problems with algae growth and all. So I'm going to have to now rig up something to kind of cover and shade that area. Even if it's, I don't know, throwing a towel or something over it, I don't know. I'll probably just build something or get some tinted plexiglass or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure out something, but that's just worth noting. If you have a smaller tank, you know, if you have a larger tank, then you probably won't have to worry about it anyway. But anyway, that's a look at it. Today is water change day, so I'm about to start cracking on that here directly. Hope you got something out of the video. You know, I just enjoy documenting the progress of these tanks, and I like putting it out there. Anything I add on and just my thoughts. Everything's my thoughts and opinions, and none of it's paid. So, you know, maybe some people can get something from it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to answer. Thanks again for watching.